Hi, and happy 10 of Diamonds week. I am Gina from Guided by the Cards and the FullDeck.net. We are here to talk about the 10 of Diamonds week. It is September 1st, and today happens to actually be a 10 of Diamonds day. And this week, starting today, going all the way till Sunday, is also a 10 of Diamonds week. And September is a King of Diamonds month. So all the weeks are diamonds. It's time to boss up. It's time to get clear on our values. And I did not post last week for the 9 of Diamonds week. I apologize. I can recap that real quick. Last week, you may have had to release certain things that at one point had value. Nines are all about letting go, not being attached. The 9 of Diamonds can be a very generous and humanitarian energy, but because they have that 7 of Spades in Mercury, their mind can kind of flip flop sometimes. They can really operate from either a space of faith and really prophesizing, or they can come from a space of fear and really kind of sometimes have to dig themselves out of that mental quicksand that can happen of negativity. So the 9 of Diamonds does transform into a 10, the 10 of Clubs. So ideally, in the process of letting something go and releasing, we acquired more, whether it was more knowledge, more information, more mental strength and peace, understanding. That is the whole purpose of the nines, is to not be attached, to let go gracefully, appreciate the things that you do have, and release the things that do not serve you. And also with the 9 of Diamonds, it does sit Uranus Mars, so it can be a little bit of an unhinged energy. Could have been some, adversity, challenges, accidents, even. So those are some of the themes that we may have seen last week in the 9 of Diamonds week. But now we are going to be talking about the 10 of Diamonds week, because that is where we are collectively. So the 10 of Diamonds is a very powerful card. It does sit Jupiter. So let's see. Jupiter, 10 of Diamonds, and this is Jupiter here. So it is called a blessed card, a good luck card, if you will, because it has that Jupiterian essence to it. It only sits Jupiter, right? So has expansion, increase, can be great for business, great for money. But the beauty thing of the 10 of Diamonds is, yes, it can be good luck. Yes, it can be a windfall. But as quickly as all of that can come in, it can also go out. And that's kind of conducive to that 9 of Hearts in Pluto. Again, kind of back to that 9 energy, not being attached, especially emotionally. Being able to let go is a big part of that 10 of Diamonds. For the 10 of Diamonds, to increase their blessings, they are to be a blessing to others. That is literally how that works for them. This is the card, they call it the celebrity card. It can definitely gain a lot of attention. It has the 10 of Hearts that pushes it or supports it. So it is meant to be seen. It is a performer type of energy, a stage type of energy, a walk in and here I am type of energy. A lot of celebrities are 10 of Diamonds. And what do we find that celebrities do? They donate their time. They donate money to charity. They're very giving. They work with less fortunate people a lot of times because they understand, again, to kind of increase their own blessings, they are to be a blessing to others. Now, the two cards that are sitting in the same box as the 10 of Diamonds are its challenging karma card and supporting karma card. And if you notice, they are both queens. So there is this like feminine side, receptive side, but ideally they are here to be of service, because that is what the queen's nature are, is to, one, give more, be of the community, mothering, nurturing, with that Queen of Spades being a supporting energy, having a lot of spiritual self-mastery, having a lot of internal power, knowing who you are. Maybe in a past life, there could have been a healer, a nurse, a nurturer, a mother. And queens, we also know the thing with the queens is, they want to be served. They want to be taken care of. And so the 10 of Diamonds can have a little bit of like a princess type of energy, spoiled, wanting a lot of attention, rightfully so. They sit Jupiter. It's a big energy. Now, the 10 of Diamonds has this 8 of Spades as their Mercury card. So their mind is very powerful, very determined, very focused, can kind of probably be perceived as being a little stubborn because it's an 8, but it is a lot of power, a lot of consistency, a lot of determination, being able to overcome things mentally by focusing the mind, being very ambitious and never giving up. The Ace of Hearts is their Venus card. And so there can be a little essence of selfishness, yearning for attention, yearning for affection, new relationships, anything that they're passionate about or excited about, they can have a lot of success with. But this is very much about loving themselves, meeting their own needs, not looking for others to kind of meet the needs that they should meet on their own. Ace of Diamonds is also a Mars card. So they have a Venus ace and a Mars ace. So there is a lot of self motivation, self drive, self starters, going after what they want. Now, these can also make them impatient and a little bit egotistical because that's just ace or selfish energy. But they also know how to start things. And with that eight of spades, following through, being consistent. Um, and being very motivated, especially in business. Entrepreneurship would do them very well. Knowing how to like self start something, motivate, pursue something, going after something. But again, there can be a little impulsiveness and impatience with this energy. So just be mindful of that as we move through this week. Now, their Jupiter card for life is this Queen of Diamonds. And this is also what makes them philanthropists, great marketers, great networkers, very generous when they're on the high side of this card. The other side, and a lot of us may experience this week, is spending beyond their means, wanting to look good, feel good, smell good. The Queen of Diamonds is regal, royal energy, and it's like you kind of have to raise the bar. You have to see your worth and your royalty and walk with that energy, and don't ever like dethrone yourself. See the value. But this is great for business, for networking, for bringing people together. And also, again, being very generous, giving more. Ten of Diamonds can give great business advice. They know how to make the right connections because of this Queen of Diamonds. Now, their Saturn card is the Five of Hearts. So, with the five and Saturn, there can be some being uncomfortable with change, a little bit of a restless heart energy. If I know I'm going to jump, but their Saturn card is also, or I'm sorry, their Pluto card is also a heart. So, Saturn is a Five of Hearts. Pluto is the Nine of Hearts. So emotional stuff, also having a heart in Venus too. So they can be very emotionally driven. They can also kind of maybe hide their feelings. They can have a lot of restless feelings. Change in relationships can make them a little bit uncomfortable. But this is also a card of like getting out, meeting new people, maybe being more spontaneous and not resisting change, right? When there's a five in Saturn, we don't want to resist the change. We want to be able to go with the flow. And again, their emotions can be subject to change suddenly out of the blue. Well, sporadically with that Five of Hearts being in Saturn. Now, their Uranus card is the Three of Clubs. So there is sometimes a wild card here with this because their mind can constantly be wondering, worrying, thinking. This is great for art, for writing, for creativity, for expressing themselves, for being able to kind of do the meet and greets and meeting new people, sparking up conversations. But this can also make them where it's challenging to make decisions, where they backpedal, where they don't trust their instinct, where they may like ride the fence, and it may be hard to make decisions with this Three of Clubs. But this also gives them a lot of creative abilities, being able to express themselves, be able to kind of be able to socialize with many different walks of life, talk to really anybody. They're very open, I think, with conversation and communication with that Three of Clubs. Also, their Neptune card is the Three of Spades. So they do have like this inner artist, right? This inner energy that just needs an outlet. If it doesn't have an outlet, it turns to hypochondria, it can turn to worry. So this week, for all of us collectively, we gotta find healthy ways to move that energy. Don't let it turn to stress. Don't let it turn to worry or contemplating or not being able to make a decision, right? So make the decision and know with those threes, if that one door doesn't work, there's a few other options that you can always try. There's always another way. There's always, a different avenue that we can take. This Three of Spades also can make them extremely sensitive. Their dreams, sensitive to different energies as well. So they have to be very mindful, especially with these queens. They are a little extra sensitive, so they have to protect their energy. Ten of Diamonds they can be a magnet for people. They have to be mindful of like having boundaries, not overdoing themselves to please or to, make others happy, making sure they're protecting their own energy as well. Now, Pluto. Pluto is this nine of hearts, and we always want to read our Pluto and our reward card together, and that is the seven of clubs. Nines and sevens can be some of the more challenging energy, but only because, we're humans and letting go or going through loss can be very challenging. But having this nine of hearts in Pluto, the high side of the nine of hearts, it is a wish fulfilled card. It's the card of agape love, universal love, a giver of love. And when the Ten of Diamonds operates from this very generous energy, they only will bring, again, more blessings to themselves. Now, they've also probably have learned throughout their life, as quickly as things can come, as quickly as things can go. This also makes them sensitive, in my opinion, to probably animals or anybody less fortunate. And it is what kind of gives them that very big heart to want to help, to want to serve. But they also, because of this nine of hearts in Pluto, have to have boundaries, know when to say no, be mindful of overgiving, oversharing, etc. And also not being emotionally attached to people, things, anything that is trying to go. The sooner they allow it to go, the sooner they realize and appreciate maybe the time that it had in its life, and it's time to let go for something better. Now, the seven of clubs being the reward card to this card, this is the card of spiritual knowledge. So they are here to kind of uplift others, maybe through their generosity, through their words. This is a very powerful card of speaking life, the power of the tongue, power of prayers, casting spells. Your words hold weight. So the Ten of Diamonds kind of has to sometimes do an internal check, like, am I on the negative side of this or am I on the positive side of this? How do they respond when something doesn't, when they have to let go of something? Will they see the bright side or the low side, right? And that seven of clubs, just like all sevens, they are faith or fear. There's no gray, there's no in between. So they really do one of the best things for this week for everybody and anybody who is a Ten of Diamonds. When you're in the now, when you are present, when you are in the moment, that is when you are the most magical. That is when this seven of clubs is at its highest expression, because it's not in a space of lack, it's not in a space of fear, it's in the moment. And it appreciates everything it has in the moment, and it finds more things to be grateful for. And that is the key for the Ten of Diamonds with this nine of hearts and the seven of clubs. Find the things to be grateful for. Even in the endings, there is a blessing. Even in the letting things go, even in a death or a process of death or a process of, something coming to a graduation or a completion, there is finding the bright side, finding the good is going to be like the sweet spot of this week. Because I know everybody talks about, oh, it's the money card, it's the blessed card, but people don't realize there's a lot of pressure with this energy, right? And I think with this seven of clubs, if they can't from the inside out, speak life and have faith, this card can kind of really bring you into a dark space mentally where everything might not be going the way, and there's pressure because there can be an increase of finances, there can be an increase of business, and if we're not in a right space energetically, it can actually be detrimental. So working on how we respond mentally, the power of our tongue, and speaking life over ourselves, our families, our businesses, whatever it is, will only benefit you. Now, the cosmic lesson for the Ten of Diamonds is the Five of Diamonds. And if you remember, the Saturn card is also a five. So their Saturn and cosmic lesson, which are very much connected, are both five. So it does show like being flexible, being able to go with the flow, money in, money out, money spent, money made with those fives, kind of like that revolving door. As quickly as it comes in, it can quickly go right back out. And it's, again, teaching you not to be attached, to teaching you to flow with the energy, to not resist when things change, to allow them and see the bright side of the changes and the shifts, because it's only going to lead you to something even better. Cosmic Moon for the Ten of Diamonds is the Queen of Spades. And remember, that is also their supporting karma card. So there is this, very powerful feminine energy, receptive energy, and nurturing energy, a mothering energy. And they have it as that moon card too. So having more inner control of their emotions, right? Having more inner control of how they feel and the work that they do from the inside out. And it's so important. Like they're really good in like alternative health, healing. They could do Reiki, like energetically healing others, but they're wise and they can, do this work with others when they really heal themselves, when they really mother and nurture and take care of themselves emotionally, then allows them to be this big energy for others as well. And then their transformation card is the Jack of Clubs. So the reward card is the Seven of Clubs, and they transform into the Jack of Clubs. The sevens and the jacks are the bridges in the deck. The sevens from the mundane to the spiritual, the jacks from what I call the peasant to the royal. So they really are here to uplift through their words, thoughts, beliefs, education, information. Their words are powerful. And it's not just what they say to others, it's really what they say to themselves, right? Because, and then it kind of goes to the challenging karma card being the Queen of Clubs. They have to uplift themselves mentally. They have to see themselves as the source. They have to see themselves as the plug. They have to kind of bring themselves out of any like lower frequencies, because again, if they don't, it can spiral and it can be on the low side of that, and that can be detrimental to the mindset. So this week, as we move through this energy, it is really important to kind of check in with yourself. Be careful of the pressure. Be careful of, the wanting, yes, it's a great money card. Yes, it's great for expansion. Yes, it can bring luck, but that you are the luck. Right? If you're going to learn anything or take anything from this video, realize you are the luck. It's already in you. It's not outside of you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will start to see how much of a blessing this card can be and is, right? So again, today, going all the way to the end of the week, we are in a 10 of Diamonds week collectively. We are in a new month. September is the King of Diamonds month. So it is very much about getting clear about what's valuable to you and really speaking life over that, really realizing the power that you have and you are the luck. So with that, enjoy this week. I appreciate you watching this video. And if you want to follow along for more, you can check out thefulldeck.net where I have ebooks, classes, and I do readings as well. So enjoy this 10 of Diamonds week, and I hope it is as big and as expansion as you would love for it to be. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.